This is your man, Ray Lewis, Hall of Famer. And listen, October 19th, PFL Championship fight. Francis.
I'm just better.
Rennan, the PFL Battle of Giants. And listen to me, I am calling all giants. What does it mean? When two giants meet, what's the mentality? What are you giving up? What will you sacrifice? Better yet, does fear set in? Follow me as we talk to legends about their giants. There's a big fight that's about to happen, E. And these boys big. They hit with haymakers. They knocking you out, E.
I know. You told
right?
me
You
told me the size of these dudes.
Yeah, like these boys massive. And I want to know from the greats of greats, when you walked on the battlefield and you knew it was the Niners, did you blink? What did you think? Talk to me.
We didn't blink. I didn't blink. And the reason why we didn't blink or I didn't blink was because we were battle tested. We were battle tested before we even got to the NFC Championship game. And we were mentally tough already because of our training. Yes, we come from a 1-15 team. In Jimmy's second year there, we go 7-9. Then his third year, he put together the right system for us. Training system and everything else, offensive system, defensive system, and everything else. And we go 11-5 and make a playoff. A certain things start to happen when you come from the bottom and you work your way to a level of success. You start to taste hunger and start to taste that victory, and you become very selfish. Ray, I can't be thinking like I'm gonna give me 125 yards. I gotta be realistic with myself. This is gonna be a battle for 4 quarters.
So if you have these two giants you're talking about,
right,
and they're walking in and you're walking in the way you guys walked in, what separates who wins and loses?
Well, the one that's willing to risk it all, the one that's willing to go beyond what he thought he could do. Even though you got two giants, just because they're big don't mean that, I've always had this philosophy, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But you got two guys that are equally yoked. It's going to be a battle. But as Kevin Green used to say, my will would outlast your will.
My will will outlast your will.
Yeah, if both of us got the same amount of will, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a draw because we're going to be throwing, I'm going to stand and you're going to stand. And at the end, we're going to gain so much respect from each other because of what we did and how we did it. You hit me with some haymakers, I hit you with some. So at the end of the day, then it becomes strategy. Who's in the best shape? Who took it for granted? Who didn't? Who wants it more? That's what separates most, right here between the ears.
3-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Famer, NFL's leading rusher of all time. What does a man who's accomplished so much think about in his biggest moments?
You mentioned Super Bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In moments like that, I think to myself, I've been waiting for this my whole entire life. And now it is here before me. My time is now. And I got to be on my game. I don't want to make any mistakes. Yeah. I want to be perfect. I've dreamt of this moment. I see myself going on that football field. Yeah. All of these things have gone through my head before I actually got there.
Before you actually got there.
Before I actually got there.
What was your way of relaying that to your teammates as the leader, as Emmitt Smith? You know you're going to touch the ball 25, 30 times. How do you relay that message to the rest of your team, and what do you tell them?
Well, in that situation, I didn't mind telling my teammates. I didn't mind telling my teammates what I expected of myself. Because at the end of the day, this is what I want. And I want it within the team concept. I don't know what you came here for, but damn it, we about to go ahead and do something we ain't never done before.
Wow.
And so if neither one of us has ever been at this level, what were you thinking? What was you dreaming? Do you want your dream to come true? And so am I nervous? Call it butterflies. And the butterfly says, I'm nervous. Yes, I was nervous. At that moment, when I go on that football field, I wasn't just going on the football field for my teammates. I was bringing my mom and daddy with me. I was bringing my brothers and sisters with me. I was bringing my high school coaches. I was bringing everybody that poured into me to get me to this moment.
So we talking about this mentality, and you've played with some of the greatest warriors of all time. Who was the one player that you played with that you would say that person can be the best MMA fighter ever?
I probably would have said Mark Tournay.
Mark Tournay.
Yeah.
I love it.
I probably would have said my left tackle, Mark Tournay, probably would have been one hell of an MMA fighter.
Tell me why. Tell me what is it about his mentality that makes him choose him out of all of the greatness that you played with?
I would say because, first of all, he was a defensive player converted to left tackle.
Yeah. Mentality.
Mentality already.
Mentality. Yeah.
And he will fight at the drop of a dime.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Oh my gosh. What's the greatest piece of advice you've ever heard when you was heading to your biggest battle?
When you doubt yourself, you are truly questioning your own belief. Can I do it? Wow. And you know, there's always a time when you get to another level. Like when I went to the University of Florida, my very first day of practice training, Rich Tootin, our strength and conditioning coach, he pointed at me and said, "Hey, you're working out with me every day this summer." The very first day, man, he ran my ass to death with everyone else. Put somebody big on my sled. I had to pull the sled on that hot turf. I'm throwing up all over the place. I'm sick as a dog. And I started to question myself. Can I do this? Because the next morning, I had to go see this man again.
Again.
And I started asking myself, am I ready for this? And then I started looking like, do I want to go home? I'm like, no, I ain't going home. I'm going to see him in the morning. I go down in the morning with regret, but I'm there. Same thing happened for about a week. The next week, it got a lot lighter. Week after that, got much more lighter.
Yeah.
It was all about the beginning of everything. It's always going to be hard.
It's always going to be hard.
Always going to be hard. And you got to push through. You can push through that moment, you go through another glass ceiling.
So listen to this. One guy, Renan, has never touched it. The type of finances that come with this changes his entire family's life. One guy has endured something that I shared myself, which is losing a child recently. Both have something to fight for. I want you to think about this. What separates the win from the loss?
The one that's hungry has never tasted victory of this magnitude. There's a different level of fight for him because he wants something that another man has. And
he ain't really got no pressure.
He really don't. He has to go through him. And he knows it. The other one, who was a champion.
Francis.
Who lost something.
Francis. Yeah.
So significant. There might be a little doubt because focus requires every ounce that you have. And there's a void in this man's life. So the younger one, or the one who's never tasted victory, can't be overconfident because he could be fighting a wounded dog.
Wow. The scariest one to fight.
It's the worst one to fight.
This will be one of the greatest battles we've probably ever witnessed in our time of life. And I'm talking to one of the greatest champions to go into many battles. And I learned something from your journey. Go do what you do. I love you. I appreciate you with all of my heart. And we're going to watch something that we've never seen happen October 19th.
Good luck to both fighters.
God bless you, brother. Thank you.
You
The
too.
great Emmitt Smith.